unprecedented hepatitis A outbreak in Florida is putting diners on edge. More than 3,000 cases have been reported in our state so far this year. Some of those with hepatitis A are restaurant workers. Now the standard for spotlessness is at an all-time high.
It's the proper procedures that prevent most of these foodborne illnesses. So it's cooking things to the proper temperature. It's making sure that your hands are always clean.
Right, all those things that we should be thinking about. Dr. Kevin Murphy from UCF Rosen School of Hospitality Management is joining us this morning to talk more about it. Great to see you, first of all. Thank you for coming in. Now I'm nervous even shaking people's hands, right, because we've been talking about this so much.
You're good. I don't have hepatitis A.
I know you're clean. Let's talk first about how hepatitis A is spread.
So hepatitis A is a fecal to mouth bacteria, so that's how it's contracted. So someone that has gotten hepatitis A from that process, so it's fecal matter can end up on food if you ingest it that way, or it can be blood to blood in the case of using a dirty needle. Or it could be with a partner, once again, fecal to mouth. So it's not easily spread. It's not easily spread like salmonella or E. coli, which comes in tainted meat or poultry. So it's a little bit harder to spread, but it's easy to prevent. The concerning part about hepatitis A is it impacts the liver for the people that do get it.
Okay, and that's not a good thing. So the reason that we're doing this interview with you today is because we want people at home to be a little more conscious when they go out to eat, because we have had several restaurants where they've had this problem. The case that was last week was not the first restaurant to have this issue over the last couple of months. What do you want people to know when they dine out about the process that happens in a restaurant?
Well, first thing I want to say about dining out in the United States is very safe. So the employees that they found that had hepatitis A, they've not documented any cases where those employees have spread the hepatitis A to patrons. So that's the first. As of yet, they have not done that. And if restaurants follow the proper procedures, they can avoid the spreading of hepatitis A or any bacteria to patrons, because hepatitis A is not the only bacteria that we're concerned about.
Sure, yeah.
So the proper procedures really include what we call double hand washing. So every time a employee uses the bathroom, they wash their hands, and there's signs in the employees' bathrooms that must wash their hands. They wash their hands. Then when they come back to the kitchen, they wash their hands again.
Okay.
So washing your hands is critical.
So a double wash is a really important thing.
In the bathroom and outside of the bathroom.
Okay, gotcha. Sure, because you're touching things between the bathroom and the kitchen or wherever you're going.
And then to wash their hands on a regular basis, so whenever changing from one task to another. So if employees properly wash their hands in a restaurant, or if people at home properly wash their hands when they're preparing food, 25% of foodborne illness can be prevented. That's the industry statistics. I
want to make sure we have enough time to talk about what happens inside the restaurant as far as cleanliness is concerned, right? Okay, so tell us what is happening inside the restaurant to make sure that you're safe.
So restaurants do several things. So for example, there's several different colored cutting boards here. So these colored cutting boards, so the next thing we're talking about here is that we want to prevent cross-contamination. So that's, for example, let's say I cut up some chicken, or I have hepatitis A in my hand, and I touch a product that's raw, that's never going to be cooked again. Okay, so hepatitis A can be killed in cooking, as salmonella and as E. coli can be. So anytime you're dealing with a raw product, you want your hands to be washed. You want to be wearing gloves.
That's super important, right?
On your tables, you'll see in restaurants, you'll see tables in here. The red buckets indicate sanitizer solution.
Okay.
Green buckets indicate cleaning solution. So you clean first, and then you rinse, and then you sanitize. In addition to that, the different color cutting boards indicate that, for red is typically meats, green is produce, purple sometimes is seafood, and white is multi-use.
Okay.
So cross-contamination involves, let's say I cut up some chicken on this cutting board here, and then I don't properly sanitize the cutting board, and then I cut a pineapple up and I put it in a fruit salad, and that's cross-contamination. So hepatitis A, like other bacteria in the kitchens, can be prevented by two primary things. First, proper hand washing. Second,
proper cleaning of things that you're working. And this includes your knives and all your utensils.
For even people at home. We talk about restaurants, right? But this is something we should adopt in our own household as well.
Definitely, because there are 3,500 cases this year alone of hepatitis A in Florida, and none of them have been contracted in restaurants as of yet.
That's truly incredible.
So it's mostly homes, needles with drug use, and so that's what you have to be afraid of.
Dr. Kevin Murphy, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your expertise with us. We appreciate you. Great to see you too. Have a terrific weekend, Danielle. We're going to send it back to you.